Hey gang, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling here. Much appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time with me watching the video. And today we're going to have a discussion on the topic, does human scent affect bass as far as if they're going to bite your lure or not? Or can they pick up on human scent? Just sort of have a discussion on that. I've got some opinions from observing this in my own fishing over the past 50 years or so thought we'd talk a little bit about that. Real quick before we get started, just a couple quick housekeeping tips. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out some of our merchandise on the channel, I'd invite you to do that. You can just see the merchandise at the bottom of the, when you click on the video, right at the bottom of the page, they got a bunch of merchandise down there. We got t-shirts, hats, hoodies, koozies, all that type of stuff. And also, if you're interested in booking a personal on the water lesson with me, just shoot me a message on my Facebook page, Randy Blocker, Professional Angler. Much appreciated. Okay guys, this goes way back for me, this whole topic here, because I remember back when I was in high school, I was really adamant as far as that, not wanting to get human scent on my plastic worms, because I had read something about it. I think Doug Hannon had been talking about it, and my sister always heard me talking about this. So I remember she was having a slumber party one night when we were junior or senior in high school, and she had a bunch of her girlfriends over at the house. And I had all of my plastic worms laid out on the kitchen table. I boiled them to straighten them out. This is what I did when I was 17 years old. And Cindy and her friends started, handling all the worms. And I got super mad. I go, stop doing that. You're going to get human scent all over the worms, and I'm not going to catch any fish. So I've been aware of this ever since for many, many years, back in the late 70s. I've always been, here's sort of my viewpoint on bass and smell. I don't think anybody really knows. Now, there's been some data compiled, and there's been some studies and this and that, but there hasn't been any really conclusive evidence. The only evidence that I can really go by is my own experience. From my own personal experience, I think scent plays a pretty big role in fishing. There's other aspects that override scent, but I think it's a pretty big consideration in your fishing. We'll get into that in a second. But first of all, guys, I don't think people give bass credit enough for how smart they are. I hear a lot of people, they just basically say bass are dumb as a box of rocks, and they got a pea brain, and they show a tremendous amount of disrespect for the fish. Guys, bass have been on this planet longer than humans have. They're not stupid. They could not survive for millions and millions of years if they weren't smart on some level. And part of that level of them being intelligent is their senses. And one of their senses is a sense of smell. It may not be as powerful as like a catfish or something like that, but it's still there and present. Things that I've realized on my fishing is that obviously your slow baits, like your jigs, your worms, your shaky heads, any bait that moves slow where the bass can have a chance to study it. Obviously, if they have a chance to study a bait, they are not biting that lure out of reflex. They're biting that lure out of, it looks real to them. They think it's food. It could be curiosity or competition or something, but they're not biting a bait out of reflex. Anytime that you take that element of reflex away from the fish, which is a trigger, a strike trigger, you're increasing the likelihood that they can smell your bait. So therefore, anytime that I'm fishing a slow bait, I'm always putting scent on. Especially if I'm handling the bait. If it doesn't matter if I've been sweating or not. I still think there's pheromones in the human body that rub off on that plastic. Obviously the plastic's got some scent to it. So it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt if you can put something down there to confuse them a little bit and to mask the scent. I'm not necessarily talking about things that will attract a bass to bite a lure, but it may eliminate some of the odors that they're aware of that we're not. We don't understand how a bass smells. We don't understand. We try to, the reference that we have to smell is our own reference through our nostrils, but the whole sense of smell to a fish, it may be something on a completely different wavelength that we're not aware of. But I have seen it for sure that putting scent on your bait, not handling the bait, keeping it out of contact with any type of foreign agents definitely gets some more strikes. And the strikes, that is more evident, like I said, on the slow baits. Now, bass hit a lure out of a lot of different reasons. You know, feeding is just one small part of it. You know, like I said, you got the reflex strike, you got the reaction strike, you got curiosity, you got anger, you got competition, a lot of different stuff cause bass to bite a lure. And anytime that you're talking about those instinctual bites that has to do with like competition or anger or reflex, I think scent becomes less important. So, but even then, a lot of times in highly pressured situations, even on moving baits, I'll use scent with that. So I'm still a little bit, I don't have any preconceived favorites as far as scent. I've been working with and I've been experimenting with a lot of different scent with the bait fuel, the garlic bang. You know, one of the subscribers sent me some smelly jelly. I'm gonna get into that. I've used a lot of different scent over the years, and I have not really come to conclusion yet on the scent. I really do like the bait work, the bait fuel. I like the texture of the bait fuel, and whatever reason, I'm convinced it gets you more bites. I've seen that in my drop shot fishing this year. I've gotten more bites drop shot fishing using the bait fuel over not using it. So it depends on, like I said, the personality and mood of the fish. But anyway, to get back to the point of the video, human scent on bass lures, does it have an effect? Absolutely. Try to keep your handling of the bait down to a minimum. Mask the scent with mask the whatever scent you're putting on it with some type of scent, and I think it will add up to some more bass for you guys. So hope it helps you guys catch a few more. We'll talk later.